Remember, it's an important day today as far as the entire exercise initiated by spiritual guru Sri Ravi Shankar is considered. Is going to make a stop over at Ayodhya, and the likelihood that he might be visiting Ram Janmabhoomi temple. Shivani Gupta, Republic TV's news editor, tracking the story for us. These, in fact, are the arrival shots of Sri, I believe, in Ayodhya, where there are strong voices, in fact, in support of out-of-the-court settlement of the Ayodhya dispute. We are breaking these visuals first on Republic TV. Sri, in fact, arriving to meet Nritya Gopal Das. In fact, Nritya Gopal Das is somebody Shivani, Republic TV Shivani, has spoken to a while back, and also she talked about the kind of expectations that are attached vis-a-vis Sri's Ayodhya stopover is considered. Whether or not he's going to he will visit Ram Janmabhoomi temple or not, well, that is a matter of speculation. But yes, you have Sri there. Yesterday, in fact, he had a meeting with UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. In fact, Nilanshu of Republic TV also spoke exclusively to UP Chief Minister, who described his meeting with Sri as just a courtesy call. Well, none of the sides are actually, whether it's Sri or UP Chief Minister, not really officially making their stand clear on this entire gamut of initiation out of the court settlement. Remember, yesterday, in fact, Sri had multiple meetings with various stakeholders, and today his visit to Ayodhya holds a lot of significance. I believe he's having some sort of brief media interaction there. If you could get some ambience or audio from that bit. But let us tell you what we are breaking right now. Sri Ravi Shankar's first visuals of arrival to meet Nritya Gopal Das. In fact, Nritya Gopal Das has spoken to Republic TV's Shivani Gupta. He has said that we don't know what Sri is coming here for, but what the mediation is on. Mandir, it's been always ready for the battle as far as the court is considered. We're taking a very cautious line there, those words coming from Nritya Gopal Das. All these efforts, in fact, the mediation level talks, the mediation efforts, initiation by Sri, meeting various stakeholders for out-of-the-court settlement. We'll try and reconnect with Shivani in a bit, but let's tell you what we are breaking right now. Sri's Ayodhya's visit is essential, is extremely important as far as the forward movement on the out-of-the-court settlement of the Ayodhya dispute is considered. You had representatives of Nirmohi Akhada, Shiv Sena, RSS, etc. meeting, as well as VHP, in fact, yesterday meeting Sri. Then you also had the Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath of Uttar Pradesh, in fact, meeting Sri. He, however, has described his meeting as a courtesy call, but it seems that on ground it is moving forward as far as the voices for out-of-the-court settlement of the Ram Janmabhoomi dispute, the Ayodhya dispute is considered. These are the visuals of Sri, his arrival at Ayodhya, and particularly the spot there that we are showing you is his meeting with Nritya Gopal Das. Sri's meeting with Nritya Gopal Das. Here he's being welcomed by the saints there. Abhishek, our executive editor, joining us on phone line to put this bit in perspective. Well, Abhishek, what's the sense that you are getting as far as the entire initiation of dialogue with various stockholders and the mediation initiation by Sri is considered? How critical is his Ayodhya stopover? Abhishek, how critical is Sri's Ayodhya stopover today? Okay, we'll try and go back to Abhishek in a bit, and let's once again recap what we are breaking right now. First, visuals of Sri's visit to Ayodhya. Remember his brief stopover there. His mediation juggernaut continues to roll on, and after meeting Yogi Adityanath yesterday and discussing Ayodhya issue, remember none of the sides have come out openly or officially as far as The contents of discussion that transpired between the two sides on the Ayodhya issue is considered, Yogi Adityanath telling Republic it was just a courtesy call. But we know for the fact that he has been at it as far as the Mandir push is considered, his Mandir push is considered. Now, you have Sri Ravi Shankar right now. We are breaking these visuals, who has in fact made a stopover at Ayodhya. He in fact is going to visit. There is a likelihood that he might visit Ram Janmabhoomi. Whether that takes place or not, we will keep track of that story, but we will be breaking these visuals of Shri's visit to his meeting with Nritya Gopal Das. And here we are breaking these visuals first on Republic TV. Our executive editor Abhishek on phone line with me on this story. Abhishek, I was asking you, in fact, what is the significance, how critical is Shri's Ayodhya stopover, whether or not he's going to visit Ram Janmabhoomi or not, we really don't know. There is a likelihood, but explain to our viewers the significance of his Ayodhya visit.
Well, Shankar, for one, it shows the intent that someone is pursuing a course of action which is aimed at an amicable solution, an out-of-court settlement. Remember, all this is happening in the backdrop of upcoming day-to-day hearing in the Supreme Court on the title suit case. There are three parties. All the three parties are, for various reasons, not happy with the High Court verdict, and they have separately gone to the Supreme Court. And Shri, in his wisdom, believed that this is a kind of conflict going in the court for the last 70 years, but between the communities for almost 500 years, there is something, if an attempt can be made at a goodwill solution, and that is something which has driven. He is someone who has made similar efforts, for example, in Iraq and Syria. So someone with that broad horizon is making an effort to really bring all the parties together. By all accounts, Sakal, he has not succeeded. All parties are at variance. There is no commonality that is emerging in their opinion. So in all likelihood, it might be a wasted effort. But what is visible is that with all keenness of a neutral mediator, Shri is involved in the whole process to the extent that he is not at all revealing, mentioning, speaking of his own mind on the issue. He has met so many interlocutors on this whole issue. He has met the Shia Waqf Board, the Sunni Waqf Board, the All India Muslim Personal Law Board, all the parties from the Hindu side. He's meeting the Nirmohi Akhada. He has been to Allahabad. He's gone to Mumbai. He's met people in Delhi. He's met the Union Home Minister, and a courtesy call on UP Chief Minister. I mean, government is not a party to the whole exercise. Still, he's perhaps trying to gauge the mood of the government also. So, in effect, what we are seeing is that Shri is making all effort and with all sincerity. And the Ayodhya visit is part of that. It's immaterial whether he really visits the Ram temple, because the motive is to really meet all the parties concerned. So he would be meeting all other interlocutors who are based out of Ayodhya, especially the Ansaris, who are the main party in the whole case that is brought to the Supreme Court. And it is hoped that, if not a solution to the whole exercise emerges out of this whole exercise, at least there would be some goodwill that would have been attained, which would get reflected in some give and take, which might be needed in the Supreme Court, Sakal.
Okay, so what's the sense that you're getting in terms of forward movement? Yes, undoubtedly, the efforts are visible, because we've seen, in fact, yesterday he had series of meetings from the representatives with the interlocutor also at his residence, from Hindu Mahasabha, from VHP, etc., RSS. That's what we reported also. On ground, what's the sense that you are getting, Abhishek? Where is it all leading to?
Well, to be honest, Sakal, it perhaps might not be leading anywhere. There are three parties. The main party from the Muslim side, which claims that the Sunni Waqf Board, which claims that there was a functioning mosque there. Then there is Ramlala Virajman, and then there is Nirmohi Akhada. As per the High Court verdict of 2010, it's one-third, one-third, one-third. The land has been distributed between the three claimants. All the three claimants are not happy with the verdict, and that is why the matter is in the Supreme Court. And subsequently, what we have seen is the positions have become really entrenched. So no one is willing to give an inch of their side, at least from where the High Court verdict left. So in a sense, despite all the sincerity that Shri has brought into this exercise, it seems that there is not much headway that has been made in terms of finding a solution, except for, as I said, there might be some element of goodwill of give and take when it comes to the Supreme Court. And to that extent, if not in full, in some measure, the exercise that has been carried out by Shri in the last 1 month or less than that, in fact, he began about a fortnight back only, would have given some dividend in the sense of that goodwill that will be between all the parties when they square it up in the Supreme Court from 5th of December. Having said that, the fact that even Yogi Adityanath, for example, hinted at it today in the morning that perhaps it would have been preferred that talks bring some solution, but perhaps it's a bit late that this exercise is happening. Of course, this is not the first one. Right from 1992, when Chandrasekhar, the former Prime Minister, had come up with some kind of solution, which was obviously rejected by all the sides. Then we had Shankaracharya, Jainvi Saraswati doing it in early 2000, and now we have Shri Ravi Shankar doing it just 4 months ahead of the Supreme Court hearing. So obviously, with all the entrenched positions, it's highly unlikely that any party would be willing to make a compromise or make a move in front of Shri. And that is the reason why it is likely that the matter ultimately be addressed by the Supreme Court only, Sakal.
Okay, a bit of a perspective, Abhishek, we've seen, in fact, none of the sides, whether it is Shri or Yogi Adityanath, officially making their, officially, in fact, making any position clear as far as their meeting. Remember, yesterday, a 20-minute meeting is considered. Yogi Adityanath, in fact, today told Republic TV's Nilanshu that it was just a courtesy call. But then at the same time, when the Chief Minister says that the state government is not a party, we welcome any settlement, we will honor the decision of the court. And when I say Ram Rajya, I mean good governance without discrimination, development to each and every one. What are the kind of signals or hints that the UP Chief Minister is dropping here?
Well, Sakal, that's the political view of it. And state is, or the government is not a party. As I said, the parties are three: the Sunni Waqf Board, Ramlala Virajman, and Nirmohi Akhada. That's the title suit. The government can be respondent, but they are not a party. And to that extent, Yogi Adityanath was stating the obvious. Now, no one would say that they would not welcome a solution if it emerges. But at the same time, no one is willing to discount an inch from their entrenched stated positions. And that is why it seems that despite all the sincerity, as I was mentioning, that Shri has brought into this effort, there is no movement that is visible, and I've been tracking these talks closely, no movement that is discernible except for the new development, so to say, of the Shia Waqf Board becoming very vocal of late and almost deciding by itself that a solution is there. Other parties have rejected it. Even the Hindu side, represented by Nirmohi Akhada and the Ram Janmabhoomi Nyas or the Ramlala Virajman Trust, they have also rejected it because they believe that as the situation stands, all parties want all or none. So there is it's almost like a zero-sum game between the parties involved, and that is the reason.
Okay.
Talks, as I mentioned.
All right. All right, Shri has always maintained that mediating talks between Hindu and Muslim groups are purely on his own accord, and he is going to listen to everybody. Many thanks, Abhishek, for putting this big story in perspective.